Welcome to your advanced winch launch training. Keep the wings level, rotate into the climb at the correct moment, and maintain a safe speed and trajectory. A winch launch demands the highest level of awareness and ability to appropriately react as quickly as possible. When you are ready to release, signal the winch operator by moving your rudder left and right a few times. Release the cable and abandon the launch. Release the cable and abandon the launch. Cable break. Excellent. You handled that perfectly. We are too high to land ahead. Turn back and fly alongside the runway. When safe, turn and line up in preparation to land. That was a simulated cable break, intended to prepare you for flying solo. If you keep flying like that, you'll be right up there with the best of them. Very well done. Today, you'll experience soaring in a glider, what many aviators consider to be the purest form of flight. Unlike powered aircraft, a glider pilot must adjust altitude to control airspeed. To increase airspeed, push the stick forward. Pulling back on the stick will lower airspeed. Maintaining constant airspeed in a glider requires the pilot to frequently and carefully adjust stick input and elevator trim. Let's see how the glider feels at different airspeeds. With gliders, expect a delay of 1 to 2 seconds from control input to change in speed. Let's increase airspeed to 167 kilometers per hour. Gently push the stick forward to pitch the nose down as you observe the airspeed indicator. At 167 kilometers per hour, pull back gently to maintain speed and trim the elevator so that the glider maintains 167 kilometers per hour without pilot input. Now let's reduce our airspeed. Bring the glider to 102 kilometers per hour. To reduce airspeed, gently lift the nose by pulling back on the stick. You need less input compared to pushing the stick forward. Bleeding off our airspeed will take a few moments. Once you're at 102 kilometers per hour, maintain that airspeed at first by stick input, and then adjust trim so no input is necessary. We will now take a look at how to maneuver the glider in turns. Unlike powered aircraft, gliders require considerable rudder input to begin a turn. A vital indicator for turns is the red yaw string on the center of the canopy. We always want to keep it centered. Then we use just the right amount of rudder and ailerons for coordinated flight. To center a deflected string, apply aileron in the same direction or rudder in opposite direction of the deflected string. Let's see what happens to the yaw string if we try to bank the glider without any rudder input. Keep the rudder centered and slowly move the stick to the left, then to the right while observing the yaw string. Steer the glider to straight and level flight again. Let's see what happens if we use the rudder pedals only. Apply left rudder followed by right rudder without touching the stick. Just like before, watch what happens to the string. Establish straight and level flight again. Now that you understand the use of the yaw string, let's perform a circle maneuver. To roll the glider, apply both aileron and rudder input simultaneously in the same direction. Hold a bank angle of 45 degrees and keep the yaw string centered with the rudder throughout the turn. The glider will begin turning. To maintain the nose on the horizon, you might need to pull back slightly on the stick. Roll the ailerons and rudder opposite of your turn to a wings level attitude. Let's attempt a left 360. Then level the wings and perform a right 360. Try to keep the yaw strings centered while turning. For now, let's return to the airport. You've covered the basics, and your skills will improve with practice. You've done a great job. Pilots sometimes need to reduce altitude without gaining excessive speed. Slipping is a technique to accomplish this. This technique can even allow a pilot to land a sailplane without air brakes, crucial if they break or freeze during flight. To perform a slip, the pilot holds the nose to one side with rudder input while lowering the opposite wing with ailerons. You may use either side for slipping, but it's easier to control if you apply aileron into the crosswind. We have a left side crosswind. We need to lower the left wing with ailerons while yawing the nose to the right with the rudder. I will advise when to start the slip maneuver during your final approach. For now, fly closer to the runway. Commence the slip now. Start with right rudder. Now, apply left aileron to keep the glider on track. Now, in addition to slipping, apply full air brakes. The combination will quickly bring us onto our needed glide path. See how quickly we're approaching the normal glide path? Let's leave the slip now. When established, hold the pitch attitude by gently pulling back on the stick. Be aware that the glider will tend to speed up during this maneuver. Use your elevator to maintain approach speed. Good job. See how simple and efficient the slip is? Return rudder and aileron to center position. Keep the air brakes out as required for approach. Now continue the approach. We still have left crosswind and need to align with the runway. This is done by the same technique but with less control input. Use only enough right rudder input to align the glider's nose with the runway. Apply the necessary amount of left aileron input to keep the sailplane's path aligned with the runway. For track correction, use your aileron only. Keep the nose aligned with the runway with your rudder. Now it's your task to carry out the crosswind landing in this way. Flipping approaches take time to master, but are a great way to nail your landings. You now know the basics. Very precise on the controls. Carry on.